Suddenly she frowned. When you see someone who knows those too. He also hurried to be terrified. Serious photographer said. The devil then stepped on one foot. Make everyone nearby scatter. 6 hurriedly turned back to the lake. Scum of the dark guild. He looked down with a cold face. Make long close. The demon is oppressed and bends down. The 6 captives said they'd let me kill them. He pointed at the lance, and the photographer stopped him. Stop leaving these two. Even though it's obnoxious, but in the end, there was no betrayal. Keep them alive, give them a life. Then come and talk, but death can be forgiven. The sin of living is hard to escape. You did many evil at first. Let's leave an arm. And then a force came and slashed it down. 2 arms rise and disappear. The 2 of them bowed their heads and thanked the generous Lord. 6 adventurers hold up the chaos of the dragon god of cold. Comfortable place for 2 people. You guys. Then take back the lance. The Lord came to tell the Lord. Go and get ready. I'll bring back this inflammatory dark tower first. It's full of surprises. Ask for it later. And then the moon rises to the top of the tower. It's burning hot. It makes people wonder. They want to take back the Black Tower. Why do we want to get out? Min is worried that the Black Tower is too big. Or we come to help you. As the photographer laughed, haha. Thank God it has just a small tower. It doesn't take any energy to put it away. This makes the elders want to be silent. Here in the blaze of silence. Then pull out the god. Then throw it straight into a burning fire. The stone immediately fell to pieces. Then at the behest of the regent, around the tower, a voice of photography. Make the gods glow. And then it circled around, and the tower is lit up. A luminous force shining down the tower. The tower's atmosphere is drawn in. People are gaping in wonder. I said I can actually get out. Min immediately asked, this inflammatory dark tower is so huge. Can the photographer bring it back? Here the photographer smiled. Then he took it out in his sleeve. His thousands of Lysanha map. In the blink of an eye, the black inflammatory tower was sucked into it, then disappeared 0-1 trace. It makes people ask each other where the dark tower is. Where are you? Did you see it? To change the scene inside thousands of Lysan, Hatu, the temple of the village, came up to ask. What did this kid put in? And then I feel. Where can I find such a treasure? The boy's name is Kier. If you've brought this thing directly in. Maybe they haven't trained yet. It is true that this treasure will belong to me. It's a pleasure to enter the Laughing Tower. Then suddenly, a voice said that if there was no beginning, there is no end either. It made this guy wonder what the sound was. The shock has destroyed all my thoughts. Then the temple was burned by fire. The village asked, what the hell is this? Real pain, the cry of unending pain. Run straight out of the tower using the god image. Then the fire was extinguished and laughed. Look at the tower. The Black Tower is what it is. Even our invisible soul can be. Burn up luck that we run fast. Or you're going to be burned to the ground. We must cultivate quickly. At the same time in the long zone. The crazy old man is flying. Then suddenly, someone stopped talking. The Black Tower is gone. He is the son of Kwong Wei. Let's see if this person understands. Master has been promoted a lot in DTO. Waiting for that guy to grow up. I can make him stronger. He said he got cold and kept going. A few days later, on the side of the shallow, a boundary formed. Everybody's gathered here. Zach is guiding everyone. The man above looked down and said, "The world is my whole life. We will stay with the forces willing to stay. Let's protect the area together." Fighting for so many years. I also think it is my only memory. If there's anything else. Then the photographer came to take out thousands of Lai Sanha too, said Master Bai. Quickly, he gets inside the picture. I can see that the motto is also in this cultivation. That's why I accepted her that year. She's just a baby. I can't believe it on her. To carry such a destiny. But I hope the language is a normal person. From now on, I will leave it to you. You must take good care of her. If you let her suffer, I will absolutely not forgive you. The photographer insisted. Don't worry. The staff will take good care of her. Praise is good. If you dare to bully her, then I will tell you. The photographer was surprised when he continued. Of course, I understand you. A woman in a space. The blind photographer thought the master had completely misunderstood. You said the big powers have moved. Go away tomorrow. Very soon tomorrow has come. It's a beautiful sunny day in the Middle East. On the 9th floor, the photographer flew into the boundary with everyone and happily greeted. Goodbye, master. He said hello to me, then laughed. When you want to come back, you can use the transmission at any time. He went straight to the Lord and disappeared. The border also quickly disappears. On the face right now, there's also a smile, and turned around and said, "There's a little bit of silence here. I am also old." After the rebels returned to the long domain of Wu, then Tan, he's holding hands with two beautiful people full of regret. 6 responses to ask. You want yourself. Love is too dangerous. I will go with you, photographer. But don't worry about him. I take the memory of the original god of frictions. Directly incarnate, into its form, sneaking into it. You have to be careful. You have to be careful. Stop worrying. You're right. Laughing, please rest assured. Even if there is a goddess with me. She's a martial artist. 6 adventurous face told others. I don't worry, on the contrary. I worry about when you will be captured by the god of love. Or not. As soon as I finished speaking, there was a fire in the back. The snow appeared and he fell. Laughing, let's go. Say it and fly it. Goddess love is the most powerful. The greatest force of the threefold religion. There's 6 great spirits and a lot of mountains. Each of these is extremely powerful. It can even be on par with other gods. The photographer comes here. Let's see this painting. In front of you is the outside of fire spirit power. Then I turned to say, Sister Goddess, first hide in the picture. So the dance went inside. And he put his hand up to read the resolution. Quickly morphed into fractious. Then the tiger said to go. Then it's a golden snake that crawls up the stairs. One person shouted, it is the one who comes into my fire. Suddenly, the photographer was surprised. There are 2 sources of gas. A chicken and a pig holding a tiger weapon. The cow came to ask, why do you two not know me? In my mind, there are two levels of destiny. The two Kier looked at the photographer who was crawling and silent. When he turned into a human, the pig asked, "You are a mess, not. You've been sent to some small world. The gatekeeper or something." The chicken asked more. "You are back on your mission. There is an order not to judge. The us still needs orders." So he came up with the idea. "Hurry up and say what you need. The owner has an important job. I want to tell you about it. The two of you didn't even go back and miss everything. Can you bear it or not?" He said, "The cold is coming out of the air." They make these two shiver and say nothing. The pig asked, "You've broken through to the celestial realm." The photographer said no wrong. "It's amazing to them." Hastily bowed his head. "The two of us have blind eyes. Lord, forgive us this time." The photographer sniffed and jumped over their heads and left. He flew coldly inside. "Make these two stupid people look up and tell them to go." The pig said he saw the devil. "This horse has been out for hundreds of years. That's a breakthrough. I don't know what shit I stepped on." The chicken reminded me to whisper, "No more life. In love with our gods. Exoteric disciples whose destiny is the weakest. They can only be bullied. But this guy, after his foray into the future. One is to go inside. The second is to become a deacon. Status is not the same. Now under an order of frictions. We don't know how we die." The pig was crying. "Ask the photographer here. It's easy for us to come in here again. Rumors love God tones strict vigilance. The disciples also obey the big fish and swallow the little fish. Two sides fighting is a dangerous land. That's because now I'm the body of the fragrant old man. Get his breath, his memories. If an outsider comes in. It was soon enough to have a great battle in this place. The battle is open until then. Even if it's a martial artist, it's hard to get in here. It's like that between the sky and the mountains. There's actually a hot atmosphere. Make others afraid. If you had come in here. What are you going to do, Reggie?" He said he'd go first to the Fire Spirit Hall's market. "Listen to what I hear. The electric fire exists, the highest level of the 6 great spirits of love. Hi, there are some good things. I thought I wouldn't forget my previous life. The holy fire led by God. Attack on the god of dance. Directly cancel the soul of Vu, then Tong. Young age has shown Ra's power to grant immunity to rumors. It's based on the many treasures of the fire spirit. Holy fire glass. They can become arrogant. The coolest glare of divine love. He is still in charge of this life. You can't let him get away with it. You can also take the treasure." I immediately went to the market where it was very busy. "Have you all been talking to each other?" This time, the god of inflammation only opened the fairies of the southern temple. They will also win. Another name says inflammation. It's just not the secret of the fire spirit. We, or SAO, based on something to let them in. A bat spoke. That's right. The power of the fire spirit is not enough for us. The others are right. You don't know what the frog said. I heard that the 6 great gods of humanity. I don't know why. The power suddenly rises to a lot of heights. Because in case of our divine love. Not keeping up. So ask the big guys. Spirit power conducted exchanges too. Even the mystery that didn't open before. The outside is open. Listening and surprised to think SAO lead inflammation god. This is a very good place. Rumor has it, it could activate the origin of the force. In the body of a lover. You can let the enemy unleash their full potential. The most important thing is to deal with love. It's also effective. In my previous life, I only heard about it, but never met through. If you can accept the baptism of the god of lead inflammation, it is also of great help to my 3 beloved sons. So he stuck out Rala's tongue. It surprised everyone to look back. The mayor told them to say no. The god of inflammation is only the sanctuary of the fire spirit. What do we rely on? Let the people of the other spirits take it. Especially Wu Lin, electric. The spirit often conflicts with us. Let them wake up. The team is not comfortable for them, or Sao. The others were surprised to ask who they were. The photographer bowed his head. I am the old man who is an exoteric disciple of fire spirit power. After listening to the others, they were disdainful. What kind of excitement do exotic students come to contribute? Inflammation is just you, can be watched, or Sao. We're all divine. The photographer said to his mouth, I am a disgruntled person, even though I am just an extrovert. But I also know it's difficult. Lovers are responsible. I heard that the others were surprised. It's very ethical to complain. Never heard of it. Praise, I can't believe that my students have such wisdom. Then I'll tell you. The temple is only in the mountains, deep in the fire. It's an important base for the fire spirit. We can become the head of the 6 great spirits. It's because of the god of lead. In the electric fire, can endlessly give birth to the ultimate genius, to suppress other spirits. But this time, the spirit of inflammation points back to another spirit power. It's not just about letting people take comfort. It's as simple as that. Surprised, this person continued. This time, though, there aren't too many more, but can go into the god of lead inflammation. They are all the geniuses of other spirits. Once to give, they're grown. It can become bullying. To the status of our holy fire glass. The photographer thought, there's such a good thing. The holy fire was executed at one time. In what mystery is opened? To get some kind of legacy. Wake up inflammation of the soul. I finally received the grave. Become the new owner of goddess love. To defeat the god Vu. Maybe this time it will open. We have to figure out how to stop the holy fire from coming in. Lead to awakening. The photographer asked, so the god of inflammation only ever opens a mouse. It's been open for a month now. By the way, just a little. Normally, it will open in 3 months. So there's only 2 months left. But it's not your turn. The photographer thought, what's the point of being human? But I really do love blood. On the contrary, this lead inflammatory god has been open for a month. Holy fire glass, afraid that they're about to get the legacy of the god of lead. There's no time for a walk. Find an excuse and leave. Suddenly, a hand came to hug his arm. It makes you stand still. A female serpent came to call her husband. Since when did you return to the forest? Why not go home first? The photographer was stunned and startled to think. What kind of situation is this? The serpent asked his husband in panic. Maybe you're outside. You married another goblin, right? I forgot about you. So she hugged her husband with her arms. A whole pear of grapefruit on him. The photographer thought, to absorb the memory of the original god, not paying attention to this at all. This time, it's really 6. There are really goblins in the house. You can only swallow hot water. The other animals look up and want it. Look at the table. It made the tiger drool to the ground. This woman is your wife. The photographer confirmed that. In my mind, I was special. He did not return to the cave of the old man. I can't believe I met my wife on the way. The tiger clapped its chest and laughed, haha. I can't believe your brother doesn't just love you. There is such grace. Your brother, we must make friends. Later, you will be in trouble at the temple. Whatever it is, come find me. The others agree that we should too. A little esoteric disciple next door. There are still goblins who shake people's hearts like that. What a waste of heaven. That's why we all call him a good brother. Laughing furiously, haha. Dear guests, it's not too early. We're one step ahead. Then pull the beam and think about it, or not. Maybe something will happen. The serpent next to the husband's tongue, sticking out. You've been away for so many days. I miss you so much. Let's get back to work quickly. She breathed red and called her husband. And then touch his boobs. The photographer panicked. Soaring up high. The spirit of love is also open. This is in front of many people. When I saw the ground, I hurriedly asked my husband, "What are you doing?" Every time he came back. Everyone looks forward to seeing you today. Why is it so polite today? With tears, I asked my husband, "You're outside. Is there really another goblin?" The photographer gripped his fake hand with a forced smile. Say nothing. I just suddenly thought of that. There's one important thing left undone. Go to the cave first, said the cold. There's something more important. Between you and me. What to do? My husband has been working so fast so far. Not miss. Sticking out his tongue, calling for his husband to quickly pull the strap of his pants. Make the photographer full of panic and wide eyes. Immediately, he was angry and threw out his hand. Make the love stick straight away. I fell down a meter full of fear and asked my husband. The wind is blowing up behind the tiger. And with a loud tongue, he said he had broken through. Confirmation is not wrong. This time I returned to the forest. It's because Vi had a breakthrough. I have never been back to serve. Go back to the cave first. Waiting for her husband to come to the cave to find her. Say and then fly away, lamb. She loves to say, I can't believe my husband broke through. That's what he said. Your husband must be much stronger than before. I'll go back and prepare first. So she hurried back to the cave. Let's get out of here and sweat it out. The feeling is dangerous. Having lived for so many years, it's almost been unstamped. The dance shows her face laughing, haha, teasing Rice. Prince Reggie. This serpent loves Kier real body and DTO. Why don't you push the boat? Don't worry, I want to tell them. I heard the girl of love. Body has to have small variations for many types. As if to stop the goddess. Don't tease me anymore. Laughing, I can't joke with you anymore. Now we have to go to God inflammation only SAO. They say no to false rumors. The staff only has an extremely strong effect. The future of the holy fire can break through martial arts. Become the owner of the God of love. It's because we have inherited the God of inflammation. If you can find this lead now. Of course, we have to stop it. The Lord asked, but only the Lord.